Hello everyone, it is time for Star Rail's 4.5 version livestream, and we have some very nice stuff this time around. I'll try to summarize it best I can and as in little time as I can. I guess we'll actually just talk about the reruns first and foremost, since that's probably why most of you are here anyway. So phase 1, we have Summer Robin right here. You can see the 4 stars there as well as the cones. Now, I would something to note: this new elation light cone right here. I'll zoom in. It is apparently in the gacha, and it is not free to play, which is a little bit unfortunate. But it also is another cone that you guys will have access to, which is also good. I think it's actually decent. I forget what it does. We'll show it in a little bit here too, because they show what it does. It's pretty good though. And then Hyacine is the rerun for phase 1. I mean, if you don't have Hyacine and you have Caceres, pick her up. If you don't, then not much reason to get her. Here's that new light cone. Well, it's a 4-star elation cone that's going to be popping up in the gacha. You either use that one, you use the free one, or you use a signature cone. So it's going to be better for free to play as just an option overall. So I see no reason not to just use it if you need a free to play option. Then phase 2, we have Aventurine. I think phase 1 has the better light cone options, honestly. And then if you want my personal opinion, Robin is a way better pick for like 98% of accounts as opposed to Aventurine. Aventurine can actually replace as a sub DPS for Sparxie, which is interesting. But he's not the absolute best. You run one or the other for several of 999, and then you just work with what you got. And then as you can see right here, here's Asheville for the second rerun for phase 2. Now, I was gonna say this earlier. The reason I'm not going for Aventurine here is because I'm gonna go for Asheville. That's the plan. If we don't get him, worst case, we just spend it on Pearl and 4.6. My money is on the fact that she's either a support or a sustain. I'm going to guess that she's a sustain because we haven't had one yet. Also the fact that, you know, Aventurine's a DPS. He's a DPS or sub DPS. You're kind of gonna oversaturate even more because we have Evanesha, Silverwolf, and then Aventurine can be ran with Bornax Blade and Asheville, but it's also the fact that he's an elation character. That's technically 3 teams without 3 supports. Or without enough supports for all 3 teams is my point. So we'll probably be going for Asheville. Hopefully we can at least get a copy for him. It's something to note here. This is actually pretty important. So version 4.5 is only going to be running for 5 weeks this time. So take that in mind. I believe they're going to either do a normal 3-week banner and a 2-week banner, or they're going to do 2.5 weeks and 2.5 weeks. Don't quote me on that, of course, but that just makes the most sense to me that they would do it that way. But do note that it is going to be 5 weeks long. So take that into account for your pull plans. Hopefully it's not too big of a deal, but we will have to wait and see. Here's the first one. I'm hiding behind credits, or credits are hiding behind my head, so, you know, pretty standard. Here's the second code. Go ahead and knock that one out. The L2D is really cute here. I like that. Very cute. And then here's the third code. Go ahead and knock that third one out. This is kind of interesting. They're actually going to be making some Sparxie Earbuds. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be super high quality or not. You guys let me know with the whatever Moon Drop is. I've never heard of that brand before, so I'm not sure how good they are, but it's still cool. Then here are the events. Just pretty basic stuff. I mean, seems like we're going to get a racing game, which is interesting. I don't know if it's going to be PvP or not. I didn't look too closely at that, but you know, I don't really get excited about these events unless they actually are already out, so we'll see what happens. Looks pretty fun though. Kind of like Mario Kart actually. Now that I'm looking at it a little bit closer, so that that might actually be one of the better events we'll be playing in this year overall. So that'll be cool. The new racing event will be dropping this light cone for Hunt. I'm going to make a wild guess and say that this might be for Asheville because he's new, but we'll see. I mean, honestly, I'd prefer that it's good for Asheville because, you know, I don't know if we're going to be getting his cone. I'll just be happy to get him at this point, you know? So, this will be cool. Be on the lookout for that. Another event. It's kind of like another combat event, kind of. It's... I guess it's more of like an auto battler. I mean, this is kind of what it is, so not really anything crazy in terms of like, wow, this event's sick, but I think the racing game's actually going to be pretty fun, so this one being a little bit less intense is okay, in my opinion. The Divergent Universe is getting an update as well, which is very cool. It's been outdated for a little bit of time now, so... New masks as well. Like usual, we have double drops for all these relics. Everyone's favorite event, of course. You guys already know. Free temple. More Trailblaze fashion stuff. Motocon, pretty cute. I might pick this up. It's probably not going to be that expensive. They tend to be anywhere between like $5 to $10, so I might just, you know, might swipe the card like for a little bit, you know. And then to round it off, we'll show some Summer Robin gameplay. I think she's going to be pretty fun. They're also releasing a new track with her, but it's Robin. Of course she's going to have a new soundtrack, right? Or not soundtrack, a new song. To explain her long and short, if you do not know, she is pretty much a support for your team. She will make a zone for the team that buffs teammates. I said that so badly, but you know, she creates a zone for the team, basically. Once you get off the bridge, she'll put up that zone that I was talking about, and then her ult will actually be able to buff a specific teammate, so you want to use that for your hyper carry. With this team right here, you're going to want to give it to Castries most often because she's the main DPS, right? Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's Evernight. Well, I mean, anyway, it's like generally speaking, you want her to be giving her ult to the main DPS most of the time. So in this specific team, I actually think Evernight might actually be who you pick because she has energy. But yeah. And here's her ult with this. It'll fully action advance a teammate. And then see some of that energy with Evernight gave her some of that back. Here we have Aventurine. Now, as I said before, he's either going to be used with Elation teammates, or if he's the only Elation teammate, you can put him in with like Mortonak's Blade and Asheville. Now, he either wants to be a main or a sub DPS in most cases. If you want him to rock with like several of 999, then you'll put him as a sub DPS instead of Sparxie. And then if you want him as main DPS, you just rock him with the same supports that that Evanesha would want. Then his skills AoE. He does look like he's ready to have some fun, which is nice. Bro finally takes a vacation after Peanut Colony. As I said, his skills AoE. And his main thing is just spamming Elation skills, which, you know, shocker, that's generally speaking what most of the Elation people want to do, is spam their Elation skill to an extent. Several's a little different where she wants to do her enhanced basic attack, but generally speaking, you want them to use their Elation skill as much as possible. It just feeds into what they want to do more. And you can see he's on the elation team I was talking about right here. And this is his elation skill. And then he actually has a second version of this too, which you should be seeing. Yeah, here it is. The enhanced elation skill. And that does, you know, a lot more damage than the normal one. I think he's gonna be a very fun unit. It's just unfortunate for the timing here. It's like Robin is just such a big upgrade to so many teams that I don't really think it's a good idea to really pull Aventurine unless you're wanting to, like, you know, pull for him because you're an Aventurine fan. It is, I will say, it is definitely a shame because, like, both of these two are like, both of these two are my favorites. I love these two so much. I mean, they're not like top one. Like, Robin's not my favorite girl in Star Rail, but she's pretty close. And then my favorite dude in Star Rail is actually is Aventurine. So it's a little unfortunate that we probably won't have the pulls to get both of them, but you know, it is what it is there. And that'll bring us to the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please do not forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe so we can grow the channel. And who are you looking forward to out of these? Robin, Aventurine, or are you looking at the reruns with Hyacine and Ashvale? Do let me know, and I will see you all in the next one. Laters.